And sorry to take so long to get back to you. I mean, it's been just, I'm not going to go into it. Suffice it to say, it's been extremely busy with church work and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, in the meantime, we're back. And we're down here for Thanksgiving. I'm going to be down here for several days. This is Monday. And I have not gotten up on the deck yet, but I will be. And first thing we're going to do here is open a package that I ordered up from Total Boat, and yeah, it's about time. I had when we were doing the last bit of work there on the foredeck, I had just put down all brand new trop strand mat over the top of the top of the coring, got that all down nicely laid. But at this point, I was basically out of enough resin to go ahead and do the whole next section there, and because I was using West Marine stuff, and I mean that's fine. It's just that it's time to move on. I went ahead and ordered a brand new batch of Total Boat, and with a faster hardener. And the key is going to be whether or not we get a temperature up far enough to where we can go ahead and do more work on the boat this trip. We'll see. If we get hit 50, and we theoretically could hit 50 on Wednesday, we may go ahead and do the next layer. But for right now, let's just go ahead and get this opened up, and look forward to a brand new container and hardener of Total Boat. So let's get this going. Okay. Oh yeah, here we go. So there are the pumps for the resin and the hardener. There's the hardener, that's the fast, and there's some mixing containers which we're gonna definitely need, and there is, oh hang on, oh that's heavy. Okay, there's the 1 gallon of epoxy resin. So there it all is. That's what we're going to need to finish out the foredeck. I think this is going to be more than adequate. I've still got a little bit of the West Marine stuff left, but it's the slow hardener, not the fast hardener. And yeah, I've got to make up my mind what I'm going to be doing here, but this will get us started right here. We got everything we need. Like I said, all the directions, the pumps, everything is there, and we're good to go. So let's go ahead and get up on the foredeck and see if we can't get that foredeck sanded out. That's one of the first things we've got to do if we're even going to think about putting down another layer of cloth. Actually, I had roving ready as the next one to go down. But you got that whole foredeck, as I guess it was Ryan explained to me, it needs to be sanded first to give it some tooth to be able to get the next layer to go down on top of it. So, all right, but there it is. There it is. We got it. So, looking forward to using this. All right. Well, we're back aboard Little Girl, and it's a wreck, and that's one of the things we're going to be fixing. One of the things I definitely want to do this trip, because I got some time, is to clean this cabin. It's just an absolute wreck. Everything has just been thrown everywhere. Well, we've been doing all the projects we've been doing, particularly the foredeck, and it's time this gets cleaned up. Another one we're going to be doing is taking this home. Our little cook stove is chipping paint and rusting, and that's going to go home, get cleaned up and repainted, and anyway, just make sure it's working all right. But anyway, in the meantime, I've already got the electric up here on the boat, and I'm going to just check. I think my heater is down here underneath Where did it go? Where did it go? I'm not seeing it now. Well, I'll find it because I'm plugging in the heater and we're going to get some heat going down here, make it a little more comfortable. And anyway, okay, let me turn this around. Yeah, it's stinking cold out here. We are going to be maybe up into the upper 30s here today, but I mean it's just kind of a damp Cape Cod cold. Lots of sunshine. It's going to be beautiful sunshine for the next 2 days beyond this, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And Wednesday we theoretically could hit 50. If we do, we're going to go ahead and do some new glass work up on the bow, up on the foredeck. But for right now, my main thing is I'm going to find my heater, get that thing going, and start cleaning up this cabin. It's just a mess. Tomorrow, when it gets a little bit warmer, toward our Wednesday high temperature day, I want to get up on the foredeck and sand that foredeck and get that ready for some new epoxy resin and roving. I think is where we're going to head next. I may wait on that till spring. I may just do some 6-ounce cloth because it's a whole lot easier to get down. And with heat on in here and heat coming from below, with a decent day, it'd be pretty easy to go ahead and get another, layer of 6-ounce cloth down and do roving as one of the last things we do before putting the skin coat on it. In other words, some gel coat and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, I'm going to shut up and see if we can't find the heater, get that going in here so we can get a little more comfort and get work done in the cabin. Well, I still haven't found my heater, but you know what? At this point, it doesn't matter. I'm so into trying to get some cleaning done in the cabin here, it doesn't even matter. So, let me just kind of turn it around and show you what I've done so far. And I'm just barely getting through this. I'm going to turn it around. First thing I'm going to show you is how bad the dust got down here with all the grinding, sanding, gel coat grinding. This whole cabin just got filled with crap, especially until I sealed up the deck. So let me turn it around. I'm going to show you what's going on, and then I'll show you what I've done. And that'll show you something right there. That's my captain's table, and it is loaded with gel coat dust that got below back when I was doing all the sanding and stuff. What a mess. And it's like that everywhere, all through the cabin. One of the first things I did here, let me get this light over here. This was a nightmare in here because this is where I had the hole that punched down from above, and I had to do the repair work, and all the crap that fell down in here when I was clearing that out and putting a brand new fiberglass above it and everything. And you can't tell now because it's all clean, but I mean, it doesn't look it, but it's cleaner than it was, let's put it that way. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let me turn it around a little bit more over here. The cushion over this forward, there's a whole compartment underneath here that I never use, and that was full of all the debris and dust and crap from it. Just kind of siphoned all down through there. So I took up the cushion itself, took up the plywood. Hang on, let me show you. Took that up from below and just completely cleaned that compartment. So now everything's nice and clean down below. Anyway, basically I'm going through all of it. It's just going to take me a long time. At least now that the foredeck is sealed, a lot of this stuff won't be getting down in here anymore. The one thing I've got left to do, as far as the really bad cleanup, is there's so much debris right in that forepeak area where it slid right down in the bow, and there's probably an inch or two of crap down underneath there that I've got to vacuum out. I'm not going to mess with it right now. I've got to arrange something to be able to suspend a light overhead in order to be able to see it and then get down in there with a vacuum cleaner. But we're making progress, and I'm going to be out here probably the rest of the afternoon just doing this. The old girl is desperately in need of a clean job. Well, the good news is, guys, I found my heater, and it was buried in my pile of, well, let's put it this way, all my truckloads of equipment down in the basement, and I've got it on. I've got it on low, but I'll tell you what, at least it's taking some of the chill off in here, and I'm going to be able to get a little more work done before I go in. That's just good news, because it's going to be chilly here for the next couple days anyway. Even with it warming up to theoretical 50 degrees on Wednesday, it's just got a lot of kind of damp winter bite to it around here. So anyway, good news. Little heater's going. Thank you, my sweet Sharon. Way back when I started working on a little girl years ago, literally years ago. This is one of the first things she did, was go out and buy me a little heater so that I could work on this boat during the winter time. But that's my sweetheart. That's why this boat's called Little Girl. All right, guys. I'm going to get back to work. Just so glad found my heater, and when I see my wife, I'll give her a big old kiss and thank you very much. Love my woman. Well, it's Tuesday, and it's just now a little past 11 o'clock. Had a bunch of stuff I need to get down for my mom this morning, and got that all done. And in the meantime, it's time to get that foredeck sanded out, and that's our next little step. I'm gonna wait on the cleaning for in here, although a lot has been cleaned, but a whole lot more needs to be cleaned, and we'll just wait on that till a little bit later. The main thing right now is get that foredeck sanded out. So if the weather holds, if the temperatures hold, then tomorrow we're going to go ahead and put another layer of glass down on that foredeck. And we'll just kind of go from there and see how this works. Anyway, all right, we'll get back to this. Well, initially here, what I'm doing is doing all hand sanding with, what's the grit on this? Yeah, this is just some really, really coarse 60 grit. And I'm going to go over everything on the surface with a 60. And obviously a little bit later, I'm going to have to come in with my sander and a little bit lighter weight and do these edges. This hole right here, that's all going to be sanded off, which is, with a sander, won't be any problem. Where we had a little bit extra chop strand mat curl up while we're trying to get the glass down. Anyway, but that's what I'm doing all hand sanding, and it's coming along. Once we get the whole foredeck hand sander, we'll get out the sander and do a little extra stuff around the edges. Well, the foredeck is all sanded out, and at this point, all I need to do is go get some acetone and get that wiped down. I think I'm going to vacuum it first. And here, let me get it a little bit more light. And after that, now that it's sanded and you're gonna get the vacuumed and acetoned, that'll be ready for some fiberglass. And as warm as it is right now, we may be going this afternoon. So we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, one of my mysteries is finally solved. A long time ago, I had my little marine radio here going, and I got it off channel somehow. And I said, where's my no weather radio? I said, trying to figure it out. So anyway, I finally got it figured out. Let me turn this around. Okay, so yeah, Marine Channel 1, that's what it is. Trying to finally figured it out. I looked online and said, okay, well, that must be it. So. Anyway, very handy thing when you're out on the water, and you want to know what kind of forecast is coming up, particularly if we went over to Martha's Vineyard, and all of a sudden they said, well, a storm's coming in the next 10 hours or whatever, you could get out of there and get back over into the harbor and so forth. So anyway, that's some of my handiwork there. Some lovely piece of marine mahogany, and all done up very nicely with my little marine radio set right into it. Anyway, I love it. I love it. A lot of work went into this boat. All right, so my thing, when it comes to this acetone on a clean deck like this, is just slop some. And then just spread it. Instead of dabbing your paper towel. It works like a charm. I've already done the starboard half. I'm over on the port now. There we go. Just go a little bit more up here in the bow. Good enough. The only thing about using paper towel, you get a little bit of shredding. I got my vacuum cleaner right here, and I'm just gonna vac that crap right now. And this is all I'm gonna do for tonight. We're heading down into the low 40s right now. Theoretically, tomorrow is gonna get really nice weather, and could be back up in the upper 40s, maybe 50 degrees. And I'm gonna go cut some cloth right now. And once I cut that cloth, that'll be it for the night. I'm just excited about this. This may be a fairly profitable trip down here, but I'm going to be doing it all by my lonesome. My brother's going to be my brother's already up in Maine. Ryan is 1 day away from Thanksgiving dinner with his family, so I don't think I'm going to be getting any help. It's just going to be me all by my lonesome trying to do this. So we'll see how that goes. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. Well, it's cut. It's cut. I may take that center section. You got one up at the top, the one little peak here. Then I got one that goes all the way across port to starboard, and I may cut that in half or a portion at a time, maybe a third, 2/3 or something like that. Down here, I don't mind this. This is gonna comes more than halfway across, and then I finish up over on this side to starboard, and I'm probably going to end up with some overlap, and that's fine. This is only 6-ounce cloth, and it ought to overlap and do just fine. Anyway, so we'll see tomorrow. If we get some nice, decent, warm weather, we're definitely going to do some laying of glass.